Hey there, friends. I am Tim Harrington. Welcome back to the Inside Delirium podcast. Today's date is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. Well, tomorrow being July 14th, pretty special day. It's both my mom and dad's birthday. Um, so that's it's pretty interesting to, hear people talk about, well, this day is my mom's birthday or this day is my dad's birthday. Um, my entire life I've always known July 14th to be both mom and dad's birthday, so that's pretty neat. Um, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing some fun stuff with them tomorrow. But it's been pretty crazy the past couple weeks with these heat waves. Living in central Washington, it's been pretty crazy. We're seeing all kinds of records being taken and broken. With Seattle alone, of course, they have had some records broken with the heat waves. And Wenatchee, Washington, where I live, I think 2 weeks ago we seen 114, give or take. I think that's what it was. Either way, something we haven't seen before, and it's definitely a different kind of heat. Like I've always thought that I could handle more hot than cold. If I was being extremely cold weather, I would always assume that I can handle heat better if it's really hot, but I think I was proven wrong with that. So, and I guess it's been kind of a hinder. Like I've been really, I guess, trying to be outdoors more. It is summertime, so I've been trying to find the right time to take advantage of it. Me being huge about fishing, I love fishing. I still have not gone fishing since last October, I think. But I tell you what, one big factor in that has been, let's see, I'm trying to put this right, being consumed by work, I guess. And that has been kind of taken care of the past couple weeks. It's been nice that I've had time to realize kind of what's setting me back as far as my time with the family and all that stuff. And it had a lot to do with being at work and just being consumed. Not to say that it's really a bad thing, but it's just something, if you can't handle both, you just got to downsize. And so the past couple weeks, that's kind of been my transition. I realize that I can't take on too much at one time. Sometimes you think you can and you go for it, and then you're proven wrong. It's not to say that you did a bad job or any of that. Just if you got to give it up and move on, then it's what you have to do. And so that's kind of been what I've been doing, just downsizing my time at work and just making everything balanced. So it's been a pretty good transition the past week and a half or so. I'm definitely giving my 100% still at work and my effort, and I'm still able to have time to be with the family and have my own time. So that's kind of nice, and that's really something I've been looking forward to. Something I've been really trying to get more into has been being mindful about balancing your life and stress and priorities and stuff. And when you're consumed too much with something like being at work, or not even being at work, just trying to get back into work, and all that, for me at least, I gotta really pay attention to balance. And I was really grateful to be introduced to that about a year and a half ago. I really didn't know nothing about balance. I knew that it was probably a good thing to establish balance in your life, but I didn't realize the benefits and how it has a lot to do with stress and managing that stress. And so downsizing my time being at work and trying to compromise that with my outside of work stuff, starting to feel the balance stuff a little bit better. So that's been kind of nice, and I'm very incredibly grateful for the people involved at work and everybody, my coworkers and my boss, all that. It's just really a good feeling to know that we could all be on the same page and still have respect, and that's kind of nice. I guess really when you're in a situation like that, whether it has to do with work or family or whatever, Man, just honesty is the fucking way to go. If you got an issue, dude, if you have something that's on your fucking mind, and you really got to get it out. The best thing to do is just get it out. And so that's kind of how I approached this transition. I realized that there was something that really is kind of holding me back as far as like being happy and trying to um, really get my shit together. I realized that I had to stop lollygagging and just be honest with everybody and just let them know that, hey, I got stuff going on outside of work that I need to pay more attention to. And yeah, no, it made it a little bit easier knowing that as long as I'm honest and I'm just 100% with everybody, then yeah, no, it's a lot easier. I'm very, very happy that I was able to have that energy to do that. So as far as what's been going on, I guess the past, couple weeks, month, that's pretty much what I've been doing, just trying to transition into the good stuff, get more time to be with the family and just get my happiness back. And it's really kicking ass right now. And so very grateful for that. And there's a lot of things I really want to get back into. Like, oh God, it sucks that I always say this in every podcast, but having this opportunity and I guess platform of time right now to do that, it's been kind of nice. And one thing I've been really looking forward to is getting into the idea of kind of coaching the law of attraction stuff. And law of attraction stuff I'm really big about, really into. Once I learned what it was 10 years ago, man, it just completely changed my life. And so now I've got the education, I guess, on what it means. It feels good to be able to introduce that to other people's lives. I remember when I first understood it, whether it been the Eastern philosophy part of it or the Western part of the law of attraction, to understand it, really got into it. Man, it just came to me and I just didn't want to stop learning about it, because the results were just incredible. So I'm really into presenting that to more people. And right now my cousin Matt's kind of being introduced to that, and he's really pumped about it, and he's really interested in just kind of taking that road, these little journeys to kind of better your life. And for me personally, it feels good to kind of introduce that to him. And because yeah, it's amazing if you can just try to kind of train your mind to realize that you can absolutely have anything you want. And it definitely starts with your thoughts. That your thoughts have the frequency, and as long as you put the effort into making it happen, man, you can manifest anything you ever want in your life. There's lots of testimonies I could talk about. Getting my new car earlier this year was a great testimony about that. Just a lot of good things come out of it. If you want to put the time and effort to bring good things in your life, man, it's available. One thing I was talking to him about earlier was it really starts with knowing what you want. I remember back in 2011 being starting like somewhat of a new job. I really felt like I haven't had a raise yet. It was something that I really wasn't going to present to my boss until I fully understood that I really deserved a raise. So around that time, that's when I was introduced to the idea of law of attraction and what it meant and how to understand it. And yeah, that was the first thing that I really set into the universe was, I want to make more money in the position that I have now. And so what I did was I just wrote on a piece of paper, I am so happy and grateful that I'm making more money where I work. And so it's almost like I placed my order into the universe. And, I was taught to, once you place your order, then keep up with the gratitude and keep up with the meditation on it. And always be grateful with the feeling that you do already have that raise. That was a very big, important lesson, or part of it. And it took a lot to really understand that. But once you place your order, that's when you start believing that you do have it, And that was a big trick, and it was a very trial and error time for me. But once I got it down, it needed to form into a habit. I always need to wake up and realize that, yeah, now I'm making more money, and now I'm grateful for it. So it was about 2 weeks after I wrote that on that piece of paper, and keeping up with the gratitudes and all that stuff, man, I got my raise. And it was out of the blue too, which is probably the best thing about that. Because what's great about how you can manifest stuff is you don't need to know how it's going to come into your life or when or anything about that. You just got to understand that, the universe is working for you. And whatever you're putting out with your thoughts, the better the frequency, the faster the manifestation. And yeah, it just blew me away. And right there, I was very convinced that, yeah, there is something, there's something out there that can help me get what I want and need out of life. And yeah, so ever since then, that's kind of how I just went about living my life, was just keeping track of my thoughts and staying positive. And, of course, you do get distracted by life. You can't just live your life trying to manifest everything you want. There's very much a structure to stick to, and but what's great about that, there's a huge community that wants to help people learn that stuff. And like I was saying before, it really makes me feel good to introduce that to people. And I really love hearing and listening to manifestation stories, just as I like telling mine, man. I love hearing about other people bringing stuff into their life that they got back from the universe. If there's any manifestation stories or anything, man, feel free to leave a comment and tell your story. Let everybody know about your testimony about that. Certainly stuff that I love hearing and talking about. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to be helping my cousin out with that. And there's always different kinds of strategies to go about applying that into your life. And really, I think as long as you keep it simple and consistent, then yeah, I think you're on the right track. And that's a big lesson that I had to learn early on, was keeping it simple. Of course, you can always have more detailed things on what you want, but as long as you don't let it distract your vision, that's the important thing. You definitely don't want to get distracted. And yeah, no, there's a lot of great resources. Bob Proctor is a great leading authority on law of attraction. Yeah, he's got some good stuff, and I always listen to what he has to talk about. Jordan Peterson's another one that I like to listen to. Yeah, it's pretty nice to sit back and just be completely baffled by all the things that just come into your life, and you're so damn surprised about it. That's the best thing, for me at least. I love just sitting back and wow, I can't believe that actually happened, or that actually came true or manifested. It definitely humbles you, that's for sure. When I got my car and I was just going for pretty much my first drive late at night, I was like, wow, I can't believe this actually happened. But once you start understanding that that's what you created, and that's what you deserve, yeah, it gives you a really good feeling. So if you know nothing about law of attraction, man, there's a lot of resources out there. I started off by reading The Secret, and that was pretty much my start. I know that that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg about the whole idea, law of attraction. But as far as the mainstream stuff, that was, for me, it was a good start. Reading The Secret, and the movie, of course, was pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm hoping to have more consistent episodes regarding law of attraction and better ways to kind of manifest stuff in your life. Because I know there's a lot of people that don't understand it. They tie it in with religion too, and you could see it that way. Personally, I don't. but yeah, you can kind of relate that into religion. It's for me. I know nothing about that. I just know about what I know from my experience, and the more simple I kept it, the better. The better the return. Um, I've always kept my list short. I think at one time though I had probably about 12 things that I was trying to manifest at one time. Um, of course, it just got a little bit too much as far as trying to stay focused. That was pretty difficult. So I kept my list down to probably about three main focus. And a lot of it had to do with finances, health, and family or relationships. Um, so as long as you can keep it simple, I think the more focused you're going to be. And finances are a good area to start with. For me personally, relationship manifestations are a little bit more difficult because at that point, you're trying to, manifest free will, and I kind of think that's a big no-no from the universe. But I don't know. Me personally, my advice: if you're trying to manifest like a loving relationship, absolutely start with loving yourself first. And it's amazing how that takes so much practice. It really does. I remember, hearing the concept or idea of, hey, you got to love yourself. Didn't really understand that until I actually started loving somebody that I was dating. And, once I really knew what that felt like, then I started to get it. And, from my experience, trying to be focused on loving myself, it took some time. It took some practice to meditate on that. But yeah, once you do, your pride for yourself just goes up. It's amazing. So yeah, if there's anybody out there just wanting to manifest a relationship, start dating. Definitely start with loving yourself and being happy with who you are. Um, that is kind of where I'm at right now. Of course, I'm still single, and not to say that that's a bad thing, but yeah, no, I'm happy with who I am and where I stand with not being in a relationship. At the very least, it's given me time to do my own thing, and um, I've always told myself that I definitely don't want to get back in a relationship, um, and I don't want anybody coming into my baggage. But I am very grateful to say that right now is probably the most clear that my baggage has been in a really long time, and that's a pretty cool feeling, knowing that I feel like my personal shit is squashed, and knowing if somebody does come into my life that they don't have to worry about that. So that's very important. I know in my past relationships I kind of ignored that, but yeah, life lessons, man. You got to kind of go through that stuff to get the point. So yeah, no, today just went out for a little drive this evening, and just thought, well, it's probably about time to do a podcast episode. So I'm kind of just ad-libbing this thing. I really don't have nothing written out or anything like that. It's not really my thing anymore. And I just kind of feel like talking and getting back into the swing of things. And yeah, I really appreciate everybody staying active with the podcast and all that. I'm really looking forward to making more consistent episodes, and yeah, no, it should be a pretty good thing. And I think the law of attraction stuff is what's gonna keep me engaged and interested. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. All right, friends. Well, I'm gonna end this. It's about time I start heading to bed. It's pretty late right now. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. I'm actually on the road right now. I'm trying to stay focused as I'm getting off this podcast. But yeah, no, thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next installment. Later.